Hello beautiful people, welcome once again to my channel. So today's will be on how to make this beautiful sequin mini gown. So if you want to learn more, keep watching and don't skip any part so you don't miss any juicy details. So let's get straight into this. So the first thing first we need to do is to mark our shoulder line. So I'm just going to mark my shoulder line. That will be the starting line and also a guide. So from there I'll be taking my vertical lines. As you all know, this to make a gown you need to know the basic step on how to create a basic bodice. So it's the same thing. So I'm just going to be marking from my shoulder to my bust point, which is 10, from my shoulder to my waist, which is 16, then from my waist to the hip, sorry this part wasn't clear, is 8. If the person is short, use 8. If the person is tall, use 9. So I'm just going to rule out all the lines as you can see me doing in the video. So I'll rule the lines. So after rolling the lines, then I'm going to label it. You need to label so you know what you're doing. So I've labeled my bust point, my waistline, my hip line, and the length. So next is for me to get the neckline. So the neck is going to be very wide, so I'm going to be using 4 inches width and 7 inches length. Later on I change it to 7 inches. Here I use 5, but I later change it to 4 inches by 7 inches length. So I'm just going to mark it like so, then create my round neck curve like so. So later I changed it though, so just take note of that. I use 7 inches length, but you see that along this video. So next is to get our shoulder line. So the shoulder to shoulder is 14 divided by 2 is 7. So I added 1/2 an inch allowance to each, which made it 7.5. So I'm going to mark my 7.5 like so. Then from that shoulder line I came down by 1 inches, which will be the shoulder slant. So you come down by 1 inches, then you connect it to your neckline like so. So I'm just going to rule this out like so. First of all, I need to make this line straight. Take it straight down, then connect it to the neckline, the 1 inch slant, connect it to my neckline like so. Yeah, so that's that. So next is for us to get the armhole. So the armhole circumference divided by 2, which will give us 8, or you can use your bust divided by 4, then you minus 1 inches. That you will get your armhole circumference like so. So I'm going to get the midpoint of this, which is 8. But before then I'll just show this line, extend it outwards. So the midpoint of this armhole is 4. So I'm getting the midpoint, then I'll go inwards by 1/2 an inch. For the front parts, you go in by 1/2 an inch because it's curved, while the back part is straight. So take note of that. For the back part of your armhole curve, you don't need to go in by 1/2 an inch, but the front part you go in by 1/2 an inch like so. So I'm just going to create my armhole curve like so. So I've gotten my armhole curve, I've gotten my shoulder slants. Then now is for us to take the horizontal measurement. So I'm going to take my bust point, then my waistline, my waist, which is divided by 30 divided by 4. Then I went down to the hip, 40 divided by 2. So I'm going to connect all, so divide by 4. So I'm going to connect all these lines together like so. So I'll start from the bust point. I'll connect it to the waistline. So there's no need adding allowance to this actually, because it's a stretchy fabric. So if it's not a stretchy fabric, you can add allowance. It's stretchy fabric, so there's no much allowance needed. So I didn't add any allowance. I just used my exact measurements for this. So from the hip point, I'll just connect it straight down to the full length like so. So next is for me to readjust this neck. Remember I told you I went down a bit by 7 inches because I want it to be revealing to show a little of the boobs area. So I went down by 8 inches and I created a new line. So I'm just going to create a new neckline, as you can see me doing in the video. So I'll connect the lines together, then create a new curve. So this will be the new neckline. So that first neckline, I'm going to cancel that. So this new neckline I'm doing is the new neckline for this dress. So I'm just going to connect it like so, then I'll cut it like so when I'm cutting. Yeah, so nice to cut this out. So after cutting, I'll place this on the fabric. So this is the sequin material I'm using. See how beautiful the material is. So I'm going to place the pattern on it, then I'll cut. I'll follow the exact shape and cut. No need to add allowance. So after cutting, this is how it's going to be, the front and the back. I'll take it to the sewing machine and join the two shoulder parts together. First of all, I need to fold or trim the neck parts. I'll take it to the sewing machine and join this together like so. So let's go to the sewing machine to do that. So now it's for us to sew. So I'm first of all going to cover the neckline, then before attaching the shoulder of the back and front together like so, as you can see me doing in the video. So I'll first of all pin one side of the shoulder, then sew the left side of the shoulder before going to the right side. So I'll first of all pin this left side, then sew the right side of the shoulder, the back and the front together. I'll join the two sides like so, then sew together. So after sewing the right side, nice to sew the left side. So I'll join the two sides like so, remove the pin and sew these two together. So after joining the back and the front shoulders together, nice to join the sides. So I'm going to join the front and the back sides together. This I'm just going to hold it before taking it back to the sewing table to give it a proper shaping. So first of all, I'm just going to hold it like so. This is just to hold this together first before taking it to the sewing table. So I'll join it together and sew the two sides. Just hold it. Then after doing this step, I'll take it to the sewing table and shape the dress properly. So I'll be showing you how to shape a dress. You can use this method for any dress you're sewing. So this is it on the sewing table. So I'm just going to first of all mark the midpoint of this dress. So the midpoint of this dress is 11. So by the time you place your tape rule on the dress like so, you get the midpoint. So after placing it on the dress, the midpoint I got was 11. The total length was 22. 22 divided by 2 will give us 11. So I mark that 11 points. Then I'll start by the bust points. So I'll divide my boys 36 divided by 6 by 4, sorry. Then 18 divided by 2 again will give us 9. So I'm going to mark that 9 like so. Mark the 9 like so on the right hand side, and I'll do the same thing on the left hand side. So this is how you shape a dress. You can shape any dress or any shirt like so. This method works very well. So next is to go to the waistline. The waist of this client is 30. 30 divided by 2, first of all, is 15. That 15, you divide it again by 2, which will give us 7.5. So I'll mark that 7.5 from that midpoint of that 11 inches. I'll mark it to the right hand side, which gives me 7.5 to the right. And I'll do the same thing again, 7.5 to the left from that midpoint. So I'll connect this bust point to the waistline like so. So this is how I'm going to sew it. This mark that I'm drawing, I'm going to follow this mark. That's the shaping that I will use for this dress. So I'll follow that mark to sew. So after doing the waist and the bust points, I'll go to the hip points. So remember the midpoint, that's where you're going to mark. So your hip divided by 2, sorry, which is 40. First of all, 40 divided by 2 will give us 20. That 20, I'll divide it again by 2, which will give us 10. So I'll mark it on this left hand side first. I'll mark my hip. I place it in the middle of that 11 inches that I divided on the right hand side, and I'll go to the left hand side again and mark like so. So I'll mark my 10 inches like so. So from that waist point, I'll connect it to the hip points. So this is how to shape your dress. So this mark that I'm marking on this dress is what that will guide me to when I'm sewing. So this is what will guide me when I'm sewing. This mark that I'm placing on the dress is what will guide me when I'm sewing. So I'll follow that mark and then trim out the excess out. So I'll take it to the sewing table now and sew. So that mark that I mark, I'm just following that same mark on this dress. That's like a guide to guide. So after sewing, this is how it came out, and this is the end result. You can see how beautiful the gown came out. It's a very simple sequin gown, straightforward. So thank you so much guys for watching. I hope you're able to learn 1 or 2 things from this video. So please like and subscribe to my channel, and God bless you as you do that. So see you guys in the next tutorial. Bye.